This is Broadcast Obituaries, Gone Too Soon. We exhume a short-lived TV series, episode by episode, give it a proper eulogy, and answer the burning question, was it canceled too soon or not soon enough? Analysis, nostalgia, and our final verdict on TV's fallen heroes.
Hey everyone, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Rob, and this is Broadcast Obituaries. Today we're looking at the tombstone of the great 1994-95 TV show, Earth 2.
Tombstone. It's so ominous.
I know. Well, hey, it's all about things that have passed on.
Like we're just dancing on the grave of this undecidedly
We
good
are
or not
mourning.
good TV show.
We are mourning, for the most part, on the grave of this show.
Gotcha. Yes.
I am, anyway.
Yep. Before we jump in, I went down a rabbit hole. Before we jump into this week's episode, and for podcast listeners, this isn't going to help. Maybe for YouTube listeners, we can leave some of the video up. We'll figure that out of what I'm about to share with Rob here. But I went down the rabbit hole of Earth 2 was so short-lived. Did they actually have any type of merchandise that was out when the show was around? And I'm going to start in no order. This is not an order of best to worst or anything. And I'm going to share some of the eBay listings for some of the stuff that I found here.
Sweet.
Yes. So
This
let
is
me
exciting.
share. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love this.
I did run across a posting where someone put an Earth 2 t-shirt up on Instagram. Like they run a vintage store and you could message them to buy it. The listing was several years old. If it was current and I could just click a button, I would have ordered it.
You would have done it?
I would have.
Yeah. Well,
it's only $80. Just kidding. I don't know how much it was.
Jeez. That's too much, man. All right. Don't buy that because I might have a couple of listings here that you're interested in. Okay, number one, a blast from the past, and surely the most 90s thing ever, an Earth 2 Pog.
That's awesome.
Do you remember Pogs?
I remember Pogs.
Yep. So there is a Pog you can buy for $7.50.
That's cool.
If you are interested. 5 out of 10. I couldn't find the others on short notice, so it looks like there's a whole set of Pogs here. I did see a reference to one of these has Tim Curry on it, I think. Ooh. So one of these is a Gull Pog.
Okay.
Is what I really wanted to find and I couldn't find was, did they have a slammer as a part of this set?
I don't know what a slammer is.
Did you not play Pogs, Rob?
I didn't play it as a game, no.
Okay, so your slammer was your metal Pog, your metal one that you use to try to flip all the other Pogs, right? So you would have your stack of Pogs and you would bring your slammer in and you would slam it and see how many of the Pogs you could flip over to the other side. And that was essentially the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So there's that one.
That's cool.
That's cool. Okay. Here's one that I think you're going to be excited about.
Okay.
Actually, now that I'm looking at the price on this one, your Etsy purchase is probably a better buy. But we have the Earth 2 t-shirt for a mere $170.
What? All right, fine. I'll tell you.
Yep. And the tagline this time, we are the aliens.
Nice.
And we talked about that in one episode, right?
We did, actually. Yeah, that was before I even had the DVDs. It actually says that on the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, that's a cool t-shirt.
I haven't.
But
yeah,
$169.99 is a little steep.
A little steep. Yeah. And it does look like it's in pretty good shape. Straight out of 1996, which is cool.
Yeah, good find.
Item number 2.
Yeah, 3.
Sorry. Yep. An Earth 2 promotional poster.
Ooh.
Yeah, which actually is really cool. It's got a very Star Wars-esque vibe to it.
Does.
The ship that's crashed behind them looks like something AI would create now, trying to interpret what the show is about, because we didn't see that ship on this show.
We did not.
But you got the moons.
Are there 2 moons? Oh, there they are. Okay. I couldn't see the second one.
And then a Tarian with the starry eye there up in the sky.
All kind of Palpatine-ish hovering over the entire rest of the cast.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool poster. So I like that one.
Yeah. All right. If I actually had a dedicated office, I would 100% buy that to hang behind me as we record these.
Yeah. Save your money. Because there's some cool stuff coming up. I got a few more.
This is awesome.
I want to pick and choose. All right, next up, we have some 35 millimeter slides from the show. The thing I like about this is it looks so much better, these still shots in 35 millimeter. Just the imagery and like the props, to see this rover looks so cool.
Yeah.
you know.
So is
And
that an actual still from the actual show, like the actual film
it's an
they use?
actual still. Yep, it's an actual still from 35 millimeter.
For
Yep.
$19?
Yeah, for
How
that
much is
one.
shipping? Like $250?
You get, if you spend 20, you get free. They'll ship it in an envelope for free if you
Okay.
spend 20. So bundle them up because there's more here at the bottom.
Okay.
They've got just one of the kid from Jurassic Park.
Right.
This is weird.
Yeah.
Weird tie-in.
Yeah, why is he wearing that suit too?
I know. Yeah, that was maybe after he got electrocuted. It was a deleted scene.
Got
You know,
Makes sense.
we got a probably early on the planet Alonzo. His hair doesn't look quite as long.
Right.
Got a nice family shot of
Yeah.
Yale and Devon and Yuli. Yeah. But there's a whole bunch of 35 millimeter stills. If you were interested, you could run through. It looks like they're all listed for $18.95. So you buy more than one, and you're probably going to get that free shipping in an envelope. So go for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am kind of interested in that kind of thing.
I know they're kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I flipped through a bunch of them. All right. So next we have Starlog magazine, which I've vaguely remember seeing in newsstands
Yeah.
when I was growing up. But they made the cover of one issue, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yep. The next one I'm going to show you, I'm probably going to pull the trigger on and end up buying. So just because I thought it was pretty cool, but they did release 3 tie-in novels to the series.
Yeah.
Yep. The first one here is based off of, I think, the pilot, if I understood it correctly. And then Puzzle, I believe, if I read correctly, was based off of an episode they could not put into production because the cost to produce the episode itself would have been massive.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure about Leather Wings. It could be based on an episode. I didn't find a whole lot or look real hard for that, but
yeah,
kind of interested in having these sitting on my shelf. Kind of
agree.
Cool.
I think they're cool.
All right, here's the ones that I think are really, really cool.
Oh man!
So,
but
are
all
you
this other
familiar
stuff
with?
Is already really cool.
Yeah, these you're going to be like, these are really cool though. You're going to get excited for this.
Okay.
So, are you familiar with propstore.com? Where you can buy different props. So on a whim, because I like to go out and look at like Batman props and stuff from the movies. On a whim, I searched Earth 2, and you won't believe it. There was a Earth 2 bust of a Terrian, or a full statue of one of the Terrians.
That is sweet.
Sold for a mere $4,370.
Oh, it's already sold.
Yeah, it's sold. But you could probably reach out and find out if you could purchase this from somebody. Yeah. Who's collecting this, do you think?
Maybe someone from the show.
Oh, you think so?
Sure.
I think like,
I mean, but
Clancy's got a Earth 2 memorial in his house.
He might. Why not?
Oh, that'd be cool.
But also, just look at that. It is a cool looking statue.
Yeah, well, it actually is the full costume, right? But it's the amount of detail in seeing these up close pictures doesn't get conveyed in standard definition TV footage. You don't
definitely.
I mean, this looks so much better.
I have never even seen those feet. I feel like
I know I hadn't either. I was like, oh, gnarly.
Yes.
Get a pedicure, dude. Jeez. Yeah.
That's
so
very cool.
That's cool. And then there's a still from the show with them. All right. And then I got one left. Okay. All right. This one is a Grindler head display.
Yeah.
This one's it does look like it's a copy made from the original molds that were used in the series.
Okay.
But looks
that's cool.
Really, really cool.
It is cool.
Looks like you can mount it. So it's
like a moose head.
Like you killed a Grindler and you're you know, I should put this above the fireplace. My wife would love that. She would be
man, you guys would have the coolest house in the block.
We would. Yeah. So that was my thing. I went down that path. That's where I was at for like the next hour and a half. I was just looking at stuff.
I would be too. And guess what I'm going to be doing? Guess what I'm going to do the rest of my day?
Look up merch.
Yep.
I ignored my kids. Cool. They came in for bedtime and I was like, leave me alone. I'm doing important stuff. It's like, you can get a hug tomorrow. You're at your quota for the day.
You don't need any more.
No, you don't need any more hugs. We're 90s kids.
I got posters to look at.
That's right. 90s kids. Not even 10 o'clock. You shouldn't even be in the house.
That is pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, so that I really appreciate you doing that. That is awesome. You know, just before we get into talking about the episode, we've kind of been doing some recaps lately of what was going on at the time of the episode. And so I took a couple notes here if you're interested. This next episode, I believe, came out on March 12th. And at the box office for that weekend, the #1 movie was Outbreak. That was a good movie.
That's a great movie. I watched that during COVID.
I bet you did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah. It didn't make me feel any better about COVID either.
no, very relevant to the time, though. I bet that
Yeah,
and Contagion,
yeah.
I think, got a lot of watch during COVID.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was the number one movie. It was closely followed by Man of the House, which we actually talked about last weekend with Jonathan
We
Taylor
did.
Thomas and Chevy Chase. It
Yep.
somehow
Yep.
remained like the number 2 movie like a week later. Somehow.
Wow. It's amazing. It's that JTT power that he had in the 90s.
Yep. Oh, he was huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Another movie, this movie made a premiere at the South by Southwest Film Festival. And I don't know if it was actually in theaters at the time yet or not, but it was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, which I had never heard of, but it actually starred Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger.
Yep.
I mean, it kind of seems like a pretty big deal. I also like the way they tagged it The Next Generation, like it's Star Trek or something.
It was, I mean, I won't get down the Texas Chainsaw Massacre path because it's not the podcast for that, but anything after the original movie was just so weird. There was something about the first one that just worked because it was indie and small, and all the sequels after that just never met it, you know? Like they just couldn't recapture that magic. But I like McConaughey, so
me too.
That is a good one.
All right.
I forgot Renee Zellweger was in that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Again,
wow.
I mentioned this before. I don't really follow horror movies that much.
Yeah.
So
that's not my
no surprise.
favorite franchise.
I would not remember.
Yeah. I don't go back to that one. So
let's see. The number one song for the week ending the previous day, which was March 11th, was Madonna, Take a Bow. She was still popular in the 90s. I mean, obviously the 80s were her heyday, but she was still very popular in the mid up through really all the way through the 90s for sure.
Yeah.
But by the middle, she was still pretty popular.
Yeah, I can't place Take a Bow, Rob. Can you sing a line or two for me?
I don't know the words, and
can you hum it?
I actually don't know this song in the slightest.
Okay.
I really don't.
I can't place it, and I know Madonna fairly well, but for some reason this one's escaped me.
I don't.
So
I'm not a big fan. My wife was a fan, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I could listen to more like the 80s and the earlier stuff, but once you got like past like in the later 90s when it got into like electronica and dance type of stuff, I lost what little interest there I had.
Yeah.
And the next day, there was a pretty big album that was released. It was Radiohead's album, The Bends, which had the song High and Dry on it, and some other singles like Fake Plastic Trees and My Iron Lung, which I've never heard of My Iron Lung. I was not a big Radiohead fan back in the day, but I do know this album was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I remember this album. I did not own it, but I had a friend who had bought it. We would listen to this, and I want to say it was a 311 album maybe, when we would go to his house to play video games. That's just what he would put on. So I got pretty tired of both.
I guess. Must have played a lot of video games.
We did. It was pretty much my childhood.
I know we got to get into the episode here.
So episode 14, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, aired on March 12th, 1995. The TV Guide summary says, having gotten lost and dragged into a cave, they're really, really getting their money's worth out of these caves from the budget. Yeah. Danziger lies ill in a bed. As stipulated through a dream, Devon seeks to search for him alone and meets Shepard, aka Patch, who surprisingly knows her very well.
Patch. That's good.
Patch. Yeah. Yep. And I'm excited to get into this one. I had some issues, nitpicks.
Nice. I can't wait to hear about them.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts. This is a pretty good one, though.
Yep.
For us to talk about. I don't know if it's a good episode. I'm still very conflicted on my feelings of the episode.
I'm all over the place. I think it does some cool stuff. It does some really weird stuff that I don't know why they're doing it, but hey, it was a choice they made.
Well, let's talk about it.
So the episode opens, Danziger's out scouting again. I don't know why this guy's the only person in their group that wants to go out and scout. Maybe he just doesn't like people and it's his way to get away from people. I can't.
It sounds like something I would do.
Right? Yeah. I guess I got to go scout again, guys.
Yeah.
Guys,
someone's got to get the food. No, we have lots of food. Right. We're gonna run out sooner or later. I just need, like
more.
6 hours alone, please.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you think he has audiobooks?
He probably does. He's probably out there just sitting using virtual, entertainment, watching old movies, hanging out.
Smart.
Watching the Highlander.
There can be only one.
Good times.
That's right. It opens with Danziger scouting, and he's lost. He's lost. His equipment doesn't work. He can't get a hold of the camp. These guys
they're always lost. They are terrible at survival. They're just awful.
They're really bad about it. And that's what bothered me is in the last episode, the whole episode was them just measuring coordinates and tracking, and they had all this equipment to never lose sight of anybody's location. And then
Yeah.
the very next episode, it's like, he's gone. Well, I don't
Right.
know. I don't know where he went. He's
Yeah.
just disappeared. It's like, okay.
It's wild. We
He's-
don't even like how far out has he gone just to look for
Oh,
food? I mean, it looks like a
well,
desert. Looks like he's
yeah,
in the
well,
desert.
Yeah, we learned he got caught in a storm.
Yeah, I guess.
So he got lost and turned around, and now he's just been wandering,
Yeah.
which just amazes me. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
their navigation skills aren't great. Like I said, they're probably just walking in circles. We've talked about this
100%.
multiple times. Yeah.
Well, and the rest of the camp, they're still parked at Mary's garden. So it just boggles my mind. Like they've been there probably for a couple months at this point. Do they keep having to go further and further to find food? Also, what is food for them? I don't understand is he hunting animals? I'm guessing.
Well, we saw them hunting in that one episode. Remember when Morgan and Bess
with the
were splitting
bazookas.
up?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're out like hunting, but what? I don't know because we never seen anything except for
Never saw
Grindlers,
anything.
Tarians, and the little guys. I can't remember their name.
Cobas.
So Cobas. Yeah.
Just so there's an upcoming episode where in the description, like part of the crew gets stranded, and it says that they have to eat a Grendler. So
Yes, cannot wait. That's gonna be great.
So maybe John's out hunting Grendlers. I don't know.
Man, they could be eating Grindlers, but they just don't want to tell anybody.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. So
they're very humanoid,
so
it's kind of weird.
It is a little weird. It's pretty cannibalistic to me. So yeah,
Anyway,
so
we're still not
lost.
past the first 15 seconds of this episode.
No,
My bad.
No, it's good. So he's lost, and he doesn't look like he's doing too well. That's the first thing I realized. He looks like he's really exhausted or sick or not doing well.
Sick.
Obviously, he's sick.
Yeah.
and
It's
we
very cold out there. It's very cold.
Yeah, they made that abundantly clear over the last
Over and over
3
again.
episodes.
Yes.
And they don't know how long this winter is because it's a leap winter, so or it could be.
I almost spit my tea all over my laptop.
So, and then we get something really cool here. Now, we don't get a lot of stunts in the show, and I thought this stunt coming up was really impressive, and I chuckled. And it sounds like I'm really ragging. We're ragging on this show right now. We love it so far. It's near and dear, but it's got its moments that are just silly. So he's in one shot, he's climbing a decent hill, a baby hill. It's not much of a hill.
It is not much of a hill.
Not much of a hill. And he gets tired. He's like, "Where am I?" And he passes out, and he goes for a stunt fall, and he throws himself backwards, and then pushes himself. I don't know. What do you think it is? Like 10, 12 rolls that he does, just flipping down this hill.
Yes.
And I was like, that is a guy who just learned how to take a stunt fall.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm doing this on a flat ground. I mean, he was like a kid throwing a fit who's just rolling around.
Basically, completely flat, nearly flat. And he's just like, "You want me to do what? I can't wait. I'm going to do it. It's going to be the best fall you've ever seen. I got this."
Yep. He probably said, "I learned this in Highlander."
I'm adding this to my resume. Stunt falls.
Stunt falls. So, yeah. So he falls, and he's laying there unconscious. And wouldn't you know it? Is there something else that I missed?
One important thing that he does is he fires off a flare. And that does not result in anything happening right then, but it becomes a factor later in the show.
I think I missed that connection.
It's important. So he fires off a flare right before his stunt fall.
Yep. As he's lost and he can't get a hold of anybody. Yep. So he's laying unconscious, and wouldn't you know it, he is found by another human.
Thank goodness there's people all over this planet.
Everywhere. And
if it was less populated, these people would be in real trouble.
Oh yeah, they'd be dead already.
Yeah.
But they're lucky.
Yep.
So as this human finds him, he's saying Devon's name, and they get real excited. Right?
Sure do.
They get super, super excited. And in my notes, that's where the rest of nothing else interesting happens until we see him waking up in a cave. And there's a lot of whispers and talks about, hey, this guy said Devon's name, and they say, go tell the governor. The governor. And that's where we meet Patch. And that's the only way I'm going to refer to him through the rest of the show, because he's got an eye patch on, and that's immediately what I thought of was Patch.
Okay. I'm okay with that. I mean, it's kind of confusing. It took me literally till my second time through to keep some of these characters straight, because we've got Patch. They call him the governor. I think his name is Shepherd. And there's also the guy who found him is called the Elder for some reason. And I kept getting the governor and the Elder and everybody all confused.
Yeah, I named the Elder the Scotsman.
Yeah, the Scotsman.
He's like the only Scottish guy there, which I love.
Yeah.
And I'm conflicted on this character. We'll talk about it. I don't really get him.
So we mentioned this last time, but the character of Patch, I will try to do my best to call him that with you as well. Like, he looks like, my first thought when I saw him in the preview in the trailer was that it was Dennis Hopper until I heard him talking. And I was like, that's definitely not him.
Dennis Hopper. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. There's a resemblance. There is a resemblance.
His name is Patrick. I should have looked up how to pronounce his last name. I'm going to say Bacaw or Bacaw. Bacaw. I'm going to call him Patrick. We'll call him Patrick.
What does Gaul say in that episode?
Just call me a magpie.
Yeah, and then he goes, caw. Makes that weird bird noise.
Yeah. So this guy, his name is Patrick Bacaw, and he has actually been in a lot of the type of shows that I might watch, even though I haven't seen some of these. One movie that he was in, you're going to know him from one of these at least. Probably the last one I'm saving for you. But he was in Panic Room in 2002. That was with Jodie Foster.
Okay. Yep.
But he's also been in TV shows like Burn Notice, Castle, and Alias. I've watched some of those shows. Yeah. Not much Castle, but I watched all of Alias and all of Burn Notice. I love those shows. He was in 16 episodes of Carnival, which I believe was on HBO. And Clancy Brown was also in that show.
Yeah.
He was a main character in that show.
I didn't see it, but
also, that show was produced by Ronald D. Moore, who did one of our favorite shows, Battlestar Galactica, as well as lots of Star Trek, too.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's a cool connection. I might have to go check that show out.
He was a main character on The Pretender. I think we've mentioned The Pretender before. So he was in like over 80 episodes of that. He was in a show that actually you and I have discussed this as a possibility of the next show that we do for our podcast. It's called Kindred the Embraced. He was in all 8 episodes of that kind of a horror TV show. But the main thing that as soon as I read this, I was like, yes, that's where I know him from. He was in A View to a Kill, the Roger Moore James Bond movie with Christopher Walken as Max Zorin. He was one of Zorin's main henchmen. He was like the main henchman.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
I have seen that movie a million times, and I did not make that connection.
You are a huge James Bond fan.
Oh, I'm going to have to go back. I missed that. I'm going to have to look him up.
Yeah, I know. It made me want to go back. I definitely saw some pictures of it, but I was like, and he's so much younger back when that movie came out, because it was 10 or 15 years before Earth 2.
Yeah, 85, 86 was when A View to Kill came out, probably.
Yeah, and I know you're a big James Bond fan. Who was your favorite Bond actor?
Oh, man. Okay, so Sean Connery, because that was my introduction. So when I started watching Bond, he was James Bond. I'll get some flack for this. I liked Roger Moore. I know a lot of people don't.
Honestly, Roger Moore might be my favorite, because he is who I was. That's how I was introduced to James Bond.
That's how you started watching
Roger Moore. He was the earliest ones I remember were him.
Yeah. Yep. So Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Pierce Brosnan, Timothy Dalton, and then unfortunately Daniel Craig is last. The one that I don't put in the list is George Lazenby. He was only in one Bond movie, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, right? I really enjoyed that movie, but I didn't get to see him enough as Bond to see how he would have done in additional movies. They offered him the role in the franchise. He turned it down, as I understand it, because he didn't want to be typecasted. But this is a guy who was only known before Bond for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So it was like, probably should have done Bond, dude. But
wasn't he a model too, like a male model?
He might have been. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not real up to speed on my male models. So
I always heard, well, you should be. The way I always heard it was that he kind of got too big for the part too. Even though he only did the one movie, he was like, no, I'm
that could have been
bigger than Bond, which is ridiculous. Nobody is bigger than Bond.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that playing into not wanting to be typecasted, thinking that you're going to be big time.
Right.
So
are you down on Daniel Craig as James Bond because you don't care for those movies as much, or is it his actual performance?
It's the movies themselves. Like if you read the Bond books and you watch the old movies, there is a certain amount of campiness that is a part of the story, the character, and I think the Daniel Craig movies took it all way too seriously. I liked some of the storylines. I liked the plot lines, the early Bond stuff, like what made him who he is, loss of his wife. Like I liked all that stuff, but it was, they just missed the mark on who Bond is and what the movies are supposed to be. And I just didn't care for that too much. So I've still seen them all. I've seen them all multiple times. I just like James Bond in the end. So
it's a fair criticism. You know, they were coming out at a time when everything was kind of serious, you know, like Batman Begins.
Yeah.
And that whole Batman series took Batman super dark and serious. Man of Steel came out in the middle of all these James Bond movies. So serious. There's like 2 hints of a smile in the entire movie. Like it is dark. And that's just kind of the way things were going at the time. We're like, we got to be darker. We got to be edgier and
gritty and realistic and
gritty and realistic. And, you know, that's fine for some things if that's what you want to do them, but I honestly, I really enjoyed the new James Bond movies, the whole Daniel Craig series. He's still not my favorite James Bond, but I did enjoy them quite a bit. But I do also see the value in the lighter fare of,
Yeah.
the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
So I will say I think the Pierce Brosnan ones took it way too far. By the later Pierce Brosnan movies, like those
They
were
did.
just ridiculous. Like they
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. I pick him in my list just because he fits the role of Bond,
Yeah.
but his movie suffered like a lot of 90s movies suffered just from not knowing. They didn't have an identity most of the time. It was just, we're just going to do something coming out of the 80s where everything was campy. And
Yeah.
then we're heading towards that realism of the early 2000s. And then the 90s were just like, what do we do here in this space? Movies were still great, but very hit and miss.
Yeah, I like GoldenEye. Honestly, is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Of all of
Right.
not just of his. I love GoldenEye, but yeah, they definitely go down from there. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's Patch. That's our main character to try to get us
Yeah,
back on
that's
track here.
cool.
Sorry.
No, I didn't recognize him from any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
that's cool. I'm
Yeah.
still going to call him Patch, but I have a new respect for Patch.
Okay,
He's
good.
very accomplished
Yeah.
actor.
Hey, do you want to hear about Ray Dotrice, the guy who plays the Scotsman / the Elder?
Yeah, you're going to blow my mind again, I'm sure. Let's do it.
Not for this one. And actually, I said Ray. His name is Roy Dotrice. He's gone now. He has passed away, and he's ancient. He was an old guy. I should have written down how old he was. He did.
An old guy.
He did so much work, and I tons of things. Movies I didn't recognize. Theater, obviously, I'm not into, and so I did not notice any of the names of the plays he's been in. But lots of movies. He was actually supposed to be a main character, or I don't know how much anyone is a main character on Game of Thrones, but he was going to be a pretty big name character on Game of Thrones, and then at the last minute he had to pull out due to health. He did end up doing a couple episodes just as a small part. But one thing that he did do was that he narrated the audiobooks for A Song of Ice and Fire, the ones that were out before he died anyway. And he actually holds the Guinness World Record for the most character voices by an individual for an audiobook.
Wow.
That's kind of neat, right?
That is cool. Did he do all of them in A Song of Ice and Fire? Is that why? For that one series?
All of them,
wow,
yes.
That's huge.
It is.
That's really big, yeah.
Yeah. So, and his Wikipedia just says he's British. He definitely sounds Scottish. And maybe that's just a voice for the show. I don't know. But for Earth 2. But I thought that was pretty cool. And I do only bring him up because this is not his only appearance on Earth 2. He will be in at least one more episode.
Okay.
So thought I should mention him. I believe this is Patch's only appearance, though.
Yeah. I don't think he'll probably won't be back. So I'll tell you, I looked up Roy Dotrice.
Okay.
And while we were chatting here, he did do some voice work for the 1990 Spider-Man series.
I saw that as well. That was one that stuck out to me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool. We've talked about that, but I can't see who he voiced.
Who knows?
Sure,
I mean, a lot of times they were doing multiple voices. If they got someone that's like, hey, can you also read this guy and that guy as long as we got you for this episode? Yeah, he did a lot of voice work back in the day. He has a great voice, so it's definitely clear.
Yeah, it says here that he voiced the characters Keen Marlowe and Destroyer on the animated series. He appeared in episodes such as The Six Forgotten Warriors, where he voiced the older version of the character with younger version voiced by D. Bradley Baker. So kind of like throwaway characters for the show.
Sounds like,
but still pretty cool connection.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I know.
Pretty neat.
So I'm really sorry. We haven't gotten to the credits of the episode yet. No. So I know what you.
It's our show. We'll do what we want.
That's right. We're going to talk about it in the way we want to do it. So Danziger was sick. He fell unconscious. The Elder, who is Roy Dotrice, came, and he's Scottish, so he is the Scotsman.
You really have caught the fever, haven't you? Fool. No one stays above in this cold.
He came and he picked him up. He took him down to their caves, and he's moaning out Devon Adair's name. And someone says, "Go tell the governor she's here."
Tell the governor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you mentioned it, but there's a little kid who, in my notes, I just refer to him as little kid every time because I never caught his name.
Yeah, I don't think I played it back a couple times. I don't think he has a name.
Okay.
But we learned some things about the culture underground too that
we do. It's interesting.
That was pretty interesting. So
yeah. So the little kid ends up he runs to the governor, who is Patch, and he says, "You're Devon. She's here. She's come, sir." So now he's all excited, and we're like, "Why is she his Devon?" That's weird.
Yeah, it's so weird. They set the mystery up real quick, and it's weird. So we cut back to the camp, and obviously everybody's in a panic. We lost another one, right?
Yeah,
Like we
right.
keep losing people.
How
Where
does
did
this
he
keep
go?
happening?
Yeah. And they can't find him. But Alonzo, Julia catches Alonzo having a dream. Are they shacking up now? Alonzo and Julia?
It was not
'Cause she-
clear. I mean, it definitely seems like it's
she's
finally out in the
she's
open, is the impression I got.
yeah, because she sure had no problem just walking into his tent unannounced. So I feel
Right.
like, oh, okay, so Julia catches Alonzo in a dream, and Alonzo wakes up and he's going on about his dream. Julia's saying, was it the Tarians? Did the Tarians have Danziger? He's like, I don't know. It doesn't feel that way. All I
Right.
can tell you is that they have Danziger and Julia needs to go alone. And
Devon needs to go alone.
Devon needs to go alone. Yes, thank you. So that's what we know. Alonzo's in contact, but it doesn't sound like the Tarians are contacting him, and we'll learn about that too.
Is it the Tarians?
I don't know. It seems like Terrence. But it's not.
What's that supposed to mean? You seem coherent, but you're not.
So we cut back to the caves and the Scotsmen, which I put in here. They found a Scottish clan. They're not all Scottish. That was just how in my head I was hoping it would go, that we were going to like get into a Braveheart episode. It'd be really cool, but didn't happen that way.
We got some more Highlanders.
Yep, got more Highlanders. It's gonna be
from
great.
the Highlands.
Yep, of G889. So the Scotsman, the elder, is taking care of Danziger and talking to him. And the Scotsman tells Danziger that he's got to talk to his daughter. Right? So they're having conversations. He's like, I got to go talk to my daughter who's on the stations, the space station. It's like,
you have to wish her pleasant dreams.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my gosh, how are you going to do this? Like, are there stations above G889? That's where my head went. Like, they didn't know there's a space station up there somewhere. We see in this room they're in that there's Tarians surrounding them on the walls, and all these Tarians are asleep. And the Scotsman goes over and touches the Tarian's chest. And I think we realize, number one, you're molesting this Tarian, but you're also using him as free long distance to talk to people through the dreamscape back on Earth.
It's crazy. It is crazy that they're doing this. And apparently that's how he was talking to Alonzo. And that's why Alonzo says it feels like a Tarian dream, but it doesn't feel like the Tarians.
Yeah. Yeah. There's human emotion behind it, right? I think is what he says at some point.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So it's crazy. They can talk to people across the galaxy using the Tarian dream plane. And they do tell us later that they share this space with the Tarians because the Tarians hibernate in the winter and the Tarians have opened up their dream space to them. So it's not a completely unwanted molestation of the Tarian here. He's been invited. He's been invited to do this to the Tarian. Yeah. But it's super weird. Super weird.
It's a little weird.
See these Tarians standing there.
Just sleeping.
But it also makes me wonder, like we've seen Tarians in the snow, through the whole episode where Morgan petrified the land. There was snow on the ground. Why were those Tarians not hibernating?
I don't know. Maybe some of them stick around to stand guard, keep watch over their people.
Because they haven't. I mean, they've been in Mary's garden the entire time, so it's not like they're hundreds of miles away.
We just keep finding holes.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It's disappointing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
he's going to talk to his daughter,
granddaughter. Yeah.
Using the Tarian Nextel network. So we cut back to Devon. Devon leaves the camp. She's on a rover and she's going out to suddenly know exactly where they're at. So she didn't know where they lost Danziger, and somehow now she knows exactly where to go. I missed that part. How did she know?
Alonzo got the coordinates in the dream.
Oh, okay.
Like,
are you just saying that like as a strong assumption, or did I miss it?
No. When she gets there, she contacts them through her gear and she says, "I'm at the location Alonzo gave me."
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I was probably taking my notes. So Devon gets there and she's having a conversation with the camp, and she's supposed to go alone. And then lo and behold, who sneaks out of the rover? It's those damn kids again.
It's true. One guess. It's true. Yep.
I know. At least she didn't scream.
Yeah, seriously.
Like right away. Right away.
Yeah.
So True's there, and Devon gets really, really, really mad at True. Like almost to a point where it's like, this seems like out of character for you, Devon, to be this upset that True tagged along. It was a little weird. We're going back right away. I can't believe you did this.
Yep. You were grounded, Missy.
Yep. And then they turn around and they find the kid just staring at him. So the little boy from the underground. So that's pretty much that scene. So we know now that they're going to make contact.
Yeah, he decides to take him into the cave even though Devon's not alone.
Yeah.
And they kind of walk down.
Well, True tells him, "I won't be a problem. And then the kid, who obviously makes decisions for this entire Scottish clan that lives underground, is like, yeah, you're cool. Come on.
Well, he's like 6 or
So-
7, so he's almost a man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
based
true.
on Earth 2 logic.
Yep.
So he's like,
Yep.
yeah, all right, come on, kid.
Yeah.
And
let's
obviously
go.
he doesn't know True because she's only going to make problems. That's why she's there in the first
That's what
place,
she
because
does.
she's making problems.
Yeah. It would have been better if the kid said, hey, let's go, and then pulled a cigarette out and lit up as they were walking to the cave. Started really acting adult, but I love that.
That would have been hilarious. Or if he started hitting on her. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
babe.
How long you been on
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so they go in, they make contact with Danziger. They see that he's really sick. He's burning up. He's not doing well. And the really interesting part about this, though, to me, when Devon makes it to the cave system, is when she meets the governor
Patch.
and Patch. And it's the weirdest interaction for two strangers. And this is where the story starts
It's because
to
they're not
bother me a little.
strangers. They're not
I know, and
strangers.
I know. It's so weird. So they're talking, and Patch knows Devon, and he is being really creepy. He even says, "Oh, you're so young," and she's like, "What are you talking about, bruh? You know, like young? What's going on?" So we find out that the only reason Devon went to G889 and made it her mission was because Patch met her in a dream through the dreamscape and told her to come. And I honestly paused the show for a minute and I was like, what? Did we just change the entire reasoning for coming to this planet because of this one episode?
Yeah. I was pretty disappointed in that. And
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? Now you're going to say that this guy talked to her in her dreams and that's why she came to this planet? But when you think about it, he was telling her that, well, he told her that if she brought Yuli there, the Tarians would cure him. Because he
Right.
does ask her about that and they do confirm that and talk about it. But really,
Right.
he wanted her to come there because he was macking on her. And
Yes, macking on her.
and you know, some of these scenes kind of blur together here. So let's just talk about
They
this
do.
in general.
Yeah, this is all a jumbled part of the show.
Yeah, so she doesn't remember him really, and he's telling her
No.
this. He's like, I've talked to you in my dreams. And that he said we found this dreamscape. We all go back to the stations to say goodnight to our loved ones. And he said, but I didn't have any family there, but I found you. And he's talking to her, and then she still doesn't remember. He kind of like puts his hand on her face and kind of puts her to sleep a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
like when somebody dies and you got to close your eyes.
right,
That's what
you
I
close your eyes.
like.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what it was like. And then they're both like in this bright white dream space, and they're naked. And
Yeah.
that's when she remembers him. That's when she's like,
super weird.
oh,
This
the
dude.
naked guy who would visit me in my dreams.
When I was a child,
When I
probably.
was a child. Well, it was 22 years ago, but
Okay,
she
maybe not.
slept for a lot of that.
Yeah, that's true.
She still
Yeah.
had Yuli. She had Yuli already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's like, oh, you're the guy.
You do remember.
And he
Yeah.
didn't have an eye patch in his dream because it was before he lost it due to an accident.
Yeah, right.
And but yeah, it's super weird. So I honestly get the idea that they were romantic in their dreams. Like they were
Oh, yeah.
very, very intimate aside from the nudity here. I mean, it's obviously in the show, you just see them from the
Yeah.
shoulders up, but you can tell neither
Yeah.
one is wearing clothes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
shoulder up, it's all above board.
Yeah.
But you get I get the impression that they were super intimate in
They were
these
intimate.
dreams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is super. Honestly, it feels like rape to me. Like he is taking
Well,
advantage of her in her dreams. He's convincing
it's-
her to fly across the galaxy because he needs some
That's-
female companionship.
Yes.
It was
And-
weird, man.
It was weird. And I even put that in my notes somewhere. I'm just like, I'm getting like Gaul vibes that he's a very predatory person. After watching the episode, I get more of where it's from. They have a connection from their dreams, blah, blah, blah. But before Devon remembers him, she is super creeped out by this. She's like, I don't know who you are. I don't know how you know so much about me, but this is not okay. And even the Scotsman is trying to calm Devon down at one point and say, you've got to remember who he is, right? Like, he's a good dude. He wants to help. He's helped all of us. And it's just really strange to me.
We probably should mention that all of these people here are penal colonists. So
They are.
They have told us this already. I forget when they mentioned it, but they're penal colonists. They were sent
Yeah, they
here
were pretty
just like
open
Gaul.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty
And,
open about it.
Yeah, but he's a good man. The governor is a good man. Patch.
Patch. He's a good dude.
Right. An old lady there who runs into the little boy and True, and she's like, "You got to watch out for Patch.
He's
He's
terrible.
evil incarnate. He's evil."
Yeah.
And True is freaked out. She goes and tells John, and she's like, "We got to go, Dad. This guy is evil." And I think John, like, he's still sick and he's trying to recover. He had a terrible fever and he's trying to get better. And he's like, "All right, we got to get out of here." And he tells Devon, he's like, "This guy isn't what you think he is. We got to go." At one point, the elder tells Danziger, "Hey, Patch can't look you in the eye because he only has one eye and you have two." And just kidding. What he actually says is,
it's like, wait a minute. I was like, is that what he said? I was trying to remember.
What he actually says is, Patch can't look you in the eye because he knows that you're in love with her. You're in love with Devon.
Yeah. And
Danziger's like, "Huh? What?
No, I'm not. No, I'm
she's
not.
a girl. She's a girl.
It's gross.
Yuck."
I couldn't even lay down next to her in a desert.
Right. But I think like there is, so Patch definitely can see that there is something between Danziger and Devon.
Yeah.
And Danziger can see that there is something between Devon and Patch. And it is a little love triangle. And Danziger's like, "Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's get away from this creep." And she's like, "No, he's a good man. He's changed. He's not a murderer anymore. Or he's not the murderer he was anyway. He's trying to make up for it."
Yeah.
You know?
And we had a pretty tense scene too when Patch goes to stand over a sleeping Danziger. So Danziger's asleep and Patch just shows up and is like staring at him. Danziger wakes up and Patch essentially says, "You care a lot about her, don't you?" And it sounds to me like a threat. Like, we're going to be beefing here over the woman, aren't we? And, so it was a little awkward scene. So Danziger's already got a bit of a weird vibe with this guy.
Right.
Yeah,
so, right from the start.
Yeah, right from the start. It was not great. So that's a lot of the story that we get with Patch and Devon. And at this point, though, Devon is not sure about any of it. She's kind of sketched out. She's not sure what to believe.
Yeah, and she does talk to him. Like, she fully remembers him at this point, and she remembers their intimacy. And she goes to ask him about, "Hey, what are you here? Why were you sent here?" And he says, "You already know it was murder." And he says, "I got to tell you, I had a twin sister, and she was evil, and she got into black magic, and she darkened my heart through the black magic." And it makes it seem like he killed someone because his sister used black magic to force him.
Cursed.
Yes, he was cursed into being her puppet to go kill somebody. It was kind of made it sound, which that sounds like a really cool episode. Whatever happened back then, not whatever this was, but I want to see the black magic and this twin sister and using her brother to kill their parents. I don't know who he killed, but that's how the stories typically go.
And even the story about his sister when they were traveling Date 9 sounds pretty messed up to me. And we learned that his twin sister was on the ship going to G889 with them all, but her cryo sleep failed and she woke up and she was awake for most of the trip. So she aged and was kind of alone. Yeah, and so I'm like, that would be in itself, that's a horror movie. Right. Being alone for 22 years on a ship, traveling in deep space, that's going to mess some people up. Right. And this lady doesn't seem okay.
No, because it is Katrina, the old lady, who told True how evil
about
Patch was. Yeah. So after they have that conversation, apparently Devon is cool with it because she and Shepard start kissing, smoochy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just sleep together. That escalated really quickly.
Very, very fast.
They're adults, but wow.
Right.
It's just a weird situation.
Yeah.
To jump into like that.
Right. Like 10 minutes before, she's like, "Who are you? I don't know you. Get me Danziger and I gotta go. He's the man for me." Wait, you're the creep that was sneaking into my dreams? And wow. Okay. Let's continue.
Yeah. And that's why I struggle with this episode. It's like it just, things were just happening to happen. And it seemed far-fetched for what we know about these characters so far. Like, Devon isn't that type of individual. So the fact that she was so quickly swooned by Patch and just fell into his embrace, I was like, what? No, I don't get it. But
it was weird. It was weird.
Yeah.
But hey,
out of character for her.
He's a good-looking man. He's a good-looking man. So
eye patches do something too. It's a bad boy look.
They sure do. He's a real bad boy.
Yeah. The other cool part about this, going back to the dreamscape, is the Scotsman is keeping in contact with the camp. So, he dials into Alonzo and he's like, "Hey, can you hear me now?" Alonzo's like, "Yeah, loud and clear." And he just knows that Devon is safe. That's all that they're relaying. Devon's safe. Danziger's safe. Everybody's good. We're taking care of them. Aside from the weird personal issues that are taking place, then none of that's getting relayed to him. So everybody at the camp feels like, oh, this is good. It's fine.
John and Devon kind of fight about inviting him along. Devon wants to invite Patch to come with them to New Pacifica, come back to their camp and go to New Pacifica. Danziger's like, you out of your ever-loving mind.
Can't bring my competition with us.
Right.
But
There's
he
no
only
rules
knows
on this planet. I could shoot him dead and then have you all to myself.
Right, and then I'll go scout and never come
lost
back.
again.
Yep.
That's why she can't just rely on Danziger. She needs a backup man.
She does. A backup man. Nice.
Yeah.
The one cool thing here, I don't think it's cool. It's just something we learned, I guess, is the kid is talking to True, and True tells the kid that Danziger's my dad.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, Dad?
What?
What's that?
What's a
Yeah.
dad?
And True's like, you don't have a dad? And he's like, well, I guess that doesn't matter down here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, weird.
She's like, my father, the one who brought me into the world, which you never hear anyone describe a father as someone who brings you into the world. But that's what she says.
You only hear dads say it when they're mad, and they say, I brought you into this world and I can take you out.
Take you out of it. Otherwise, it's typically moms that bring us into the world.
Right. So it's weird.
The boy's like, no, it doesn't matter down here.
No concept of a nuclear family here within this group.
It's like village upraising.
He's
like, I guess one of them must be.
Yeah, he's like somebody, you know? Who do I look the most like? That's probably him.
Yeah. Also down there, they don't care about days. Like Devon asked someone, how do they know when it's daylight or daytime? And he's like, it doesn't really matter down here.
Yeah, they flat out say we don't go above ground.
Yeah.
Like you don't go up there.
It's not safe.
You just don't do it. Don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna live down here forever. So we covered a lot through our notes in a random order, but that's kind of how it happened in the episode. It was all over the place. We don't really see a lot at the camp, the main camp this episode. It's really focused on
barely see anybody except for Devon and Danziger and True. The camp, there were only incidentals to when they're trying. There is one interesting scene where Devon calls back and talks to Yale, and she's outside of the cave, so she's on the surface.
Well, there are humans here, a sort of community, and they've been very good to us.
Okay, so we come and get you now.
No, I mean, Danziger's still sick and he can't travel. Don't worry, we'll be home soon.
And he's like, I can see a mesa in the background. How close are you to those mountains? And she turns so that he can no longer see. Yeah. And he's like, what is going on? She's like, we'll be there when we're there. Bye.
Yeah. And that's how Devon was for this entire episode. She's so out of character.
Yeah.
And it was really weird. And I don't believe that a woman like Devon would be that caught up in a romantic situation to lie to everybody she knows.
Yeah.
It's just
apparently
weird.
She was.
Yeah. But it just felt off to me.
Yeah. I'm with you. I agree. So she did ask Patch to come along, and he was like, no, I can't even talk about that. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. And he does go to talk to Katrina about it. His twin sister, who's much older now because she woke up and probably lost her mind a bit.
Well, plus all the black magic.
And all the black magic. I don't know. Black magic in this world, that's a little weird, but...
Because that would have happened on Earth or on the stations. That's when she got into black magic, was back on the stations. That's what made it really weird. If she got into magic on G889, I'd be like, sure, why not?
Sure, why not?
Magical planet.
Yeah, you can do anything you want. Anything you want to be, you can be it.
Yep.
Yeah, but Patch does try to talk to Katrina because he throws the idea at her. He's like, hey, I think I want to go with Devon. I love her. I met her in a dream over 22 years ago. It was meant to be.
My dream girl.
It's my dream girl, right? She came all this way for me. And Katrina lets him have it. By no means is she okay with him leaving. And Danziger catches this conversation. He's sneaking like he does. He's sneaking, and he hears
He's
it.
so sneaky. He's very, very sneaky.
Yeah. And he knows that something is not going to be okay. And that starts the drama with Devon wanting Patch to go, and Danziger's not for it. But then, Patch goes to a Tarian and connects with Devon in the dreamscape, so their conversation isn't overheard, and they hatch a master plan.
Right. Another naked conversation,
because that's all you do in this dreamscape.
Right.
For some reason.
Right.
Somebody should ask Alonzo, so, hey, Alonzo, are you like naked in all your conversations with the Tarians?
Or do you keep your half pants on for all of it?
Yeah, just the one with one pant leg. That's all I get to wear. Pants. Yeah.
One other interesting thing from Patch's conversation with his sister, she says,
I would hate to have to put out your other eye.
He told Devon earlier he lost his eye to an accident, but his crazy sister took his eye out.
Yeah, she's the accident.
And then, while he's in this dreamscape, having the naked conversation to hatch their master plan, how he's going to sneak away with Devon, that little boy was hiding in the room, and he puts his hand on the Tarian, and he joins this naked three-way call. And they never show him, so I don't know what's going on, but it made me wonder, like, is this what does this kid see and what's going on with him in here?
Yeah, I put in my notes, it's like the party line. You know how like when your mom was talking on the phone when you were growing up and you pick up the phone?
Yeah.
And you could just listen in. You could just hear the entire conversation. Or you get yelled at because they hear you breathe. Like, hang up the phone.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I
He
can
joined
hear
the
you.
party line. Yeah.
Yeah.
He joined the party line. He was just hanging out.
Yep.
But they didn't know he was there.
They
had
not.
no idea that he was listening to this conversation.
It was like when True joined the VR call between Julia and Riley, and they're like, wait, there's someone in here. I'm like, well, duh. Like, it's the other shining thing in this otherwise dark space. It's that little blue face over there. Of course there's someone else here, you dummies. You know, same thing. How did they not know? Maybe like it looks almost like it's like clouds from their shoulders down. I'm sure that's not what it is. That's just for our benefit. But maybe it is cloud-like and he was just down in the clouds and they couldn't see him. And I don't know. It was weird though. But so he knows the master plan now because he joined the call. Yeah.
He doesn't do anything with that information. I bet he does. No, he does. You're right. Sorry.
It's important, actually. He goes and he tells True. He's like, hey, you're going soon. And Patch is going with you. And then all of a sudden, Katrina was in the room in the dark shadows and she comes out and
that's what I forgot. Yeah, for a moment, I forgot that.
That's hugely important that she learns that right there.
She catches on.
Yeah, because she's not happy about that.
Yep. So Devon meets up with Danziger and she's like, okay, we got to go. Pack up her stuff. We're heading back to camp.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and she's being super secretive about something. You could tell something's not quite right.
Yeah, he's like, I thought you said there was no way you were leaving here without him. She's like, oh, well, things change. Let's go.
Yeah, you know, whatever.
No big deal.
So, yeah, so they get to the rover, and suddenly Devon's like, well, I got to go back and get Patch. So, and Danziger's like, no. What? She's like, nope, I got to go back.
Yeah.
So
well,
she
True,
goes,
and True mentions that she knew about it. And she's like, does anyone else know? And she says, yeah, Katrina. She's like, oh, no, I got to go save him.
Yeah, and that's why she's got to go. Yeah.
Yep.
And so Devon gets down there and Patch, they run right into each other immediately. Like literally right at the entrance. She's like, what are you doing down here? It's like, I came back for you. And Katrina's not happy. Not happy that this plan is going down. And she sneaks up on Patch, stabs him in the back. And that's it. That's it for Patch. Right?
Yep. He's a goner. He's gonzo.
He's a goner.
Then she attacks Devon.
She does. She goes after Devon. And I guess Danziger hears them struggling, or maybe he just goes back for Devon because that's what he would do.
He just goes back for
her. And he sees Katrina on top of Devon, and he pulls out his blaster, and he starts shooting.
It's his flare gun. That's why it was important at the beginning that he had a flare gun. Yes, it's the flare gun.
Yeah.
Literally, my first thought was, what did he shoot her with? Because
I didn't.
Her chest is on fire.
Oh yeah, it's like this huge burning hole.
Yes,
but I
was like, oh, it's the flare.
Yeah, see, I didn't associate it because we hadn't seen anybody actually get shot with any other weapons yet.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know what these guns do. I don't know what a future gun is going to do to somebody.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah, but they made sure to show him shooting off a flare at the beginning, and then
you're probably right.
At one point, the guy. Patch comes through and the kid is sitting there in the room playing with the flare gun. Like that's a little reminder for us that he still has his flare gun.
That's good. Okay. Yeah. See, I'm not good at making those connections. I'm just like, who kills somebody with would a flare gun kill somebody though?
I have no idea. An Earth 2 flare gun would.
Maybe.
Really.
Yeah. I don't know. But so now
he was
Katrina's
pretty close.
dead.
So honestly, I think if you shoot any object from a distance
that close,
that whatever you're firing out of a gun is strong enough to go into her heart.
It's gonna kill you. Yeah. He wasn't even 10 feet, less than 10 feet away from her.
It was very close. Yeah.
Yeah. Super close. So yeah. But so Katrina's dead and
Patch is dying. She holds him as he dies.
Yeah.
And the Scotsman tells her,
he'll find you, Devon. He'll find you again.
Yeah. In the dreamscape.
In the dreamscape, which again, and that's where you're headed. I'm sorry to cut you off, but they go back to camp.
You're good.
And they bathe, like she goes to sleep. She checks on Yuli, lays down next to him, and they go to sleep. And then she goes back to that white dream space, and Patch is there with both of his eyeballs. And it makes me kind of wonder: is he like? We've talked about this, like on this Earth, like
do you really
just because someone died doesn't mean that they can't still contact other people. So maybe he is. Maybe that is still him, not just a random dream. Maybe it's him reaching out to her in the dreamscape again.
Yeah, it's going to be real weird when Devon and Danziger eventually get together and Devon keeps having dreams with Patch.
Yeah.
It's going to be a weird dynamic for their relationship.
Yep. So, it's going to be awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
that's what I put. It was super weird to me that it ended that way, that, you know, she's still going to have dreams with him and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I don't know. This felt like a one and done story to me. Like it was just something there for a little more of that romance drama
Yeah.
that they're
Yep.
trying to interject every few episodes.
One thing I took away here was I'm not sure, like we never really learn what Patch is all about. Is he like Dansger's like, no, this guy's evil. And Devon's like, no, he's good. And we never really see him do anything evil or bad
Malicious.
or anything.
Yeah.
We do not see it. And I think a lot of that really is just Danziger in that love triangle, like trying to say, hey, this guy's bad.
Yeah.
We got to stay away from this murderer. And I think he really was reformed. Like I get the idea, like all of those people are reformed. But he breaks up a fight at one point and he says, hey, you know, these Terrians could kick us out of here if there's any violence. We can't have this kind of violence. And I think he even says, either him or the elders says that the Terrians saw them and thought that they might be redeemable. So they took them in to help them, which is kind of weird considering they're a fierce, cold breed who doesn't know how to forgive.
Yeah, I remember them saying that. And I thought back to the episode where Mary ran off because the Terrians never forget. And they're, so I'm like, what are they? Forgiving creatures or not forgiving creatures? Like what?
Right.
Make up your mind.
Are people redeemable in their eyes, or are they beyond forgiveness?
Yeah, it's just that whole dynamic about who the Terrians are as a race just really gets. I don't know.
I think there is some consistency issues here, and it's because of little things like that to me this was not a great episode.
Yeah.
I had issues with that. The story itself I thought was fine. Again, the whole reaching out to her in her dreams feels like a violation to me. Like if she thinks she's just having a dream, she might just be going along with something. She might not know that it's an actual person across the galaxy that she's getting intimate with. To me, that is a huge violation. Like she thinks she's just having this dream about this, you know, good-looking older gentleman and in this naked white space. And it turns out he's a real person. And if I was in that situation, I'd be like, holy crap, I had no idea you were real.
Yeah.
That is gross.
And you were making this happen and you never told me and I didn't know.
Right. And you influenced me to fly 22 light years across the galaxy so you could get a booty call?
That's a commitment to a booty call though.
Man, yeah. I mean, you got to respect his game, but honestly, it feels like a real violation.
I'm with you. Shows jump that shark every now and then to tell what they think is going to be a good story. I think it's weird. Personally, I think it's weird. And it might just be that we're in 2025 watching this, and a show, something like that now would not fly. You could not get away with that.
Oh, really? Need I remind you of Wonder Woman 84?
So back to Earth 2. So the other part that really bothered me is we start the show under the simple idea that they are going to G889 just to try to save the syndrome kids, right? They're trying to find a better life for humans. And all of a sudden, within one episode, she went because of a dream that she had with this weirdo guy. And for me, it changed the entire purpose for the show and why all those people are even on this planet now. And I don't know, it's just stuck with me since watching this one. I'm like, I'm just going to have to default to the pilot and forget that this little piece of canon exists because it changes too much.
I agree. It kind of made me angry. I'm like, that really changes the entire premise of their journey, even though theoretically she was doing it to heal Yuli. But we don't even know that. Like, she came to this planet because she thought this is what all the syndrome children need. They need to go to this planet and be on, like, experience real planet life, not stations. That's what they need. There was nothing about Terrians healing anybody.
Yeah, there's nothing about a dream. She didn't talk about it. It came to me in a dream that I should go. It wasn't premonition. It was just a scientific step to take to try to help. So it's weird. It's a weird move to change that much in one episode, but they did it.
Yeah, I agree. Not crazy about it. So to me, it's things like that and like how, like the conflict with how the Terrians act. Like, it's just the things that seem to conflict with all the episodes we've had so far that I give this episode a big 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, obviously there was some stuff here for us to talk about. So there were some things that got us excited, but excited doesn't always mean good. And this was better than the last episode, but still not great. So we've had a couple here where they've taken some weird directions for me. Then I'm like, your show's feeling a little lost at this point. I'm like, where are you going right now?
Yep.
So,
and really, I mean, they were losing viewers, like crazy by this point in the season. It was nuts. So I think a lot of that plays in here into things like that. So it wasn't just the scheduling. For the most part, these episodes are coming out in order. So that's not an issue yet. And it's just for the most part, it's either those gaps in between episodes or the actual content of the show itself, which really, that's why we're here. We're trying to determine, is it the show or something else, or was it a banger all the way through and should still have been made, that kind of thing. So there's definitely some storytelling issues here we can see.
Yeah, they're struggling.
Yeah.
They're struggling.
Yeah, they're floundering a bit. It's true.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts about this episode?
No, I mean, I think we beat it up sufficiently.
We did.
So it had some issues, and I don't know, just weird. It was a weird episode. The last episode was bad. This episode was just really weird for me. Like, I'm like, where are we going? This is the first one where I've like literally thought, what are you doing? Where do you want the story to go? Strange. So
yeah, I agree. I'm with you. This was definitely had some issues here. I mean, I liked, again, it's ridiculous that there are so many people all over this planet. I mean, they're just humans all over. There's
everywhere.
as many humans. It seems like there's as many humans on G889 as there are on Earth 1. And, including the stations, but like the people, like there's still people living on the Earth. I feel like there's as many on Earth too. It's just wild.
Yeah. And even the second book and the novel, the tie-in novels, the reason they couldn't film it was the premise was they found an entire underground city of people. So like they're just like, well, we're going to send them this desolate planet, but nope, this planet's going to be littered with humans.
Yeah. Here's the twist.
Everywhere.
It's not desolate.
Yeah.
There's people everywhere.
Like, maybe they're all really bad at navigation and they thought they traveled 22 light years to another Earth, but they really just swung around and you're just back on Earth.
Yeah.
Just Earth.
It's been 22 light years going in circles.
Yep.
Just orbiting the sun.
Yeah. And in that time, new aliens arrived on the planet.
Yeah.
Humanity
they came in from somewhere else.
Yeah. Space stations moved. I don't know. It's just seems strange. Yeah.
Right.
So that's good.
So next week we'll be talking about episode 15. It's called Brave New Pacifica, and it originally aired on Sunday, March 26th of 1995. After the group plans to scout ahead toward New Pacifica, a Grendler ransacks Julia's medical supplies and later kidnaps her. Devon, Danziger, and Alonzo search to find where she is and why the Grendler can obtain seawater.
Weird.
So,
okay.
Yeah. All right. So interesting. We'll see where this goes. Today was 14, right? So we're down to 7 episodes left.
Yeah, we're getting really close.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Excited.
Hey, if you're listening out there and we mentioned that show, Kindred, The Embraced, if you're familiar with it, drop us a line, make some comments. We're still trying to narrow down some possibilities for our next season of this show. That's one we've talked about. I have zero knowledge of that show, honestly, aside from what I've been able to read online. I don't even know if it's available on DVD or if it's streaming anywhere. We should definitely know that.
We'll have to find it. Definitely reach out. We're on Instagram at Broadcast Obits. We're on X at Broadcast Obits. Reach out, leave us comments on Spotify, YouTube. We're there for it. If you got shows you want us to check out, put them in the chats. Let us know. Let's talk about it.
Tell us you want to hear about them and you want us to talk about them so you can, if it's near and dear to your heart and you think we're missing out, we should see it, then we want to see it too. So make some suggestions. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Well, in addition to that, please make sure that you are liking and subscribing to our podcast on any platform, wherever you're listening to it. Like it, subscribe it, leave comments, rate it, give us a good review. If you don't like the show, you're free to keep listening, but don't give us a bad review.
That's right. But you can still reach out in the comments because activity is good. So
definitely,
if you got something bad to say it.
That's right.
Yeah, we want to know.
Yep, absolutely. So, all right. Well,
all right.
Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm Rob.
And I'm Aaron. And this has been Broadcast Obituaries. Adios.
Thanks for listening. I'm ready when you are. Yeah. And hey, if I'm not, we can always re-record it.
Yeah, if it's stupid, it's fine.
Thanks.
So. Do I look stupid, Morgan Martin?
No, you look good.
Oh, I'm gonna have to segue here again. So sorry, So my wife has been trying to watch the show, and she watched episode 1. She watched the pilot and listened to our podcast.
Yeah.
and we went out to lunch the other day, and she was like, "I've got some questions." She's like, "Cause she missed something from the show,
Okay.
so she
It's
wasn't
easy
sure
to
what we were
do.
talking." It is. There's a lot going on. She also watched it on a road trip we were on, so not
Okay.
the best watching environment. She was getting characters' names a little mixed up, and she kept saying, "Which one is Yale?" And I was
Was
like,
she reading subtitles or something?
no, I think she just was getting all the characters mixed up, and she was using talk to text to keep notes. She was like, "So which one's Yale? I'm so confused." And I'm like, "I think you mean Yale." I told her I was going to tell that story. I thought it was pretty good.
That's
So
funny.
it's going to be hard for me not to call him Yale going forward.
Wow. Okay. Well, try.
Yeah.
Try, please.
Yep. But think about all the backlash that got. There was huge drama about
Still made it. Still made it.
it.
Still did it.
They did, but it got beat up for it.
I don't
Even
know if it did. I mean,
it
people were
did.
saying stuff about it, but I don't know if it was like that movie
Well,
hasn't been canceled. How even though
it wasn't
they
any
basically
good, so they didn't need
no,
to cancel it. It
right?
canceled
It was a
itself.
terrible. It was a terrible
It's so
movie. But I
bad.
mean, they basically took over some random guy's body, and
And then
Steve, whatever his name is, lived his life through that guy and used him
and slept with Wonder Woman and did all the
right,
things and
right against his will. But
yeah,
yeah,
well,
but
sure,
he had
yeah,
no knowledge of it, and
yeah,
like total like so that came out 4 or 5 years ago, and
right. But I remember the backlash because
there was
even
yeah,
my wife after watching it, she was like that was not okay. Like I'm pretty sure this guy was just being raped.
yeah,
You know,
basically,
he had no consent. They just took him
right,
over to do
yeah,
these things. And so you're right. You can still make shows like that, stories like that, but I don't think they play well in 2025. It's a
yeah,
little awkward. They still made it. I think it was DC wasn't making good decisions anyways. That's a whole nother conversation
yeah.
for their movies. But Wonder Woman 84 was garbage anyways.